Good morning. This is a really good morning. Chichi thinks I'm taking her for a walk. There are powerful entities all around us, working through us, for us, um, and we have the power to channel them. And this morning is a really good morning. It's Shabbat morning, Saturday morning, and the messages have just been coming through, and I am very excited about this day. Um, Before I even get to it, I am so appreciative. I was thinking, before I get to what I actually wrote down, but that when you imagine your reality in a certain way, you make it come to be. When you imagine it with all of the emotion attached to it, all of the emotion that you are going to feel, and you feel the emotion as if it already exists, you bring it into the world. You'd be, when you start doing um, imagining in detail the way that something is going to be and the way that you're going to feel, it also brings it into your speech. So you start talking about it and you make it real and it actually comes to be. And that's really amazing because I can see, this is something that I have been more and more realizing in the past few months, also with these messages that I'm channeling. All of a sudden as soon as I was able to start really actually saying it aloud, it's coming more easily for me to say, and the messages are coming through more clearly. And really what this channeling is getting myself out of the way and allowing these entities to bring the message through me using my language and my capabilities and my being, and my expression. So they're getting expression through this life being. And really all that it takes from me is to get out of the way and allow it to come through, and for me to it's almost like being a translator of it. Um, so the clearer that I make myself on my own spiritual path, the cleaner that I am, then the more clear that these messages come through. So we're going to do this one. Hopefully it'll be a short one. I have all sorts of exciting things that I want to get to. Um, so I'm just going to start. Don't be afraid of your own power. So that's something that's coming through to me this morning. That there is nothing that you can get on your plate that you can't handle. In this world, you are given only things that you can handle, and they open up to you when you are ready for them. So, not to be afraid of anything that is put on your plate. You can handle it. You are a powerful being. You have the capabilities, just like I have the capabilities, to handle anything that comes. So anything that comes that we are afraid of is actually a place of our own growth. It's a place that we can grow into, that we can overcome it, and to take back our power in that place. Because everything is just a series of events. There is the emotion that we attach to things. It's just that. It's the emotion that we attach to things. So if we're afraid of something, it's just because we're afraid of the unknown. It's something that we haven't done before, that we're afraid we're not going to be able to handle, or something to that effect. But there is nothing in this life that comes onto your plate, to your life plate, that is not meant for you and not meant for your expansion. So anything that comes is for you, as a lesson for your expansion, for your life experience. And that's all this life is an experience. And let's experience it. Experience it as much as we can. And the clearer that you keep yourself from outside energies that are coming in, and I don't mean entities or things like that. I'm talking about other people. Other people have their own life experience, and they're going through things, and they're judging everything by the way that they see their perspectives. And many times they try to throw their perspectives on us. And the stronger we are in our own self-belief and in our own selves, then the less we are willing to take other people's baggage, other people's especially negative baggage. There's positive baggage that you want to get. You want to go, and if somebody is on a high in their life and they can give it, we can not give us, but we can connect to that energy. But we want to be careful what energies we do connect to. Many of there's many energies out there that aren't ours, negative energies that people are putting on us, that is from their own perspective, from the way that they see life, or, nobody can see life from the inside from where I am, and nobody can see all the options that are open for me because they're my options. They're open for me. It's just like this is channeling. It's coming through me. It's options that are open to me. So not to take baggage that isn't yours. And that wasn't part of the message. It was just, don't be afraid of your own power. Don't be afraid of what is put on your plate. You can handle it. It's there for you. Create when you feel the urge to create. So like this, the video, when you are like, oh, it's coming through me, let me make a video. Or I have these visions of things that I want to draw. And I notice that a lot of times it's like this, I get this vision or this urge to do something or to create something. I'll say, okay, well, right now I have to be doing this or that so that I can make a living. So or have to be doing this because of that. So I'll put it off till later. But a lot of times when it comes to the later, first of all, there is no later, because other visions and other things are coming through at the later point that are more pressing, that are coming through you at that moment. And also when a message is coming through you, you get hyped about it. You know what it is. Or when now I have this creative itch. I want to go and draw. I want to create. And so when it's coming through you, it's like adding your own power to the power that is coming through you. So if you have an urge to do a drawing, or you have an urge to write something, or something that is creative, that is of expression of your being, do it. It's the universe coming through you. It's raining here a little bit, so there's drips coming from the trees. It's a beautiful morning. I like these kinds of mornings because you can just, there's, it's Saturday morning. There's really nothing that it's your day off, and it's a little bit rainy, so it's an inside day. And today is the day of creation. I can feel it. That the sky is open. Okay. So create when you feel the urge. That is like adding your own personal power to the power of the universe. Okay. Channel when it comes. It's the same thing. Channel the messages when they come. Addictions. Okay, here's another one. Addictions are your way of running away from your own power and keep you from realizing your greatness. They come from fear. So addictions is something that kind of keeps you busy. It kind of keeps you, it keeps your mind busy because you're always around the addiction, and it eats away at your life. It's slowly, addictions, they slowly eat away at your life. There's always, you have these addictions. Like I was smoking, and it's always, it's when you have an addiction, inside, you know that it's an addiction. Inside, you know that it's an addiction, and it's always like, okay, someday, when is that day? When is that someday going to come along? It's not like, the way that addictions are is that they're progressive. So the longer you have the addiction, the stronger, and the more you reinforce the addiction, like the more you smoke the cigarette, or the more you think the thought, because the thoughts processes are also addictions, or the more coffee you drink, the more hold the addiction has over you, or the more you drink. I'm also a recovered alcoholic, so all of those things, the longer that you do, the more you allow them to put their roots into you. It's like shh, and the, the stronger the addiction becomes. So they're progressive. So in any addiction that you have, the current moment is always going to be the easiest time to rid yourself of the addiction. Always. It works that way. The addiction, it gets a stronger hold every time that you do whatever addictive behavior that you are doing. So at any given moment is the easiest time that it ever will be to give up your addiction. Now, I understand that sometimes there's things in life that you're going through difficulties. I even say sometimes when you're going through difficulties is the easiest time to give up addiction, because you're using it as a crutch, but you're already going through something difficult. So why not add difficulty to difficulty, and then you overcome them together? You can kind of combine things together. I think Chi-Chi's realizing we're not going for a walk, giving up hope over there. maybe not, but she adds to the frame definitely with her. See, I crack myself up. I feel like she's a prop for the video. The bird is laughing. Okay, so there we go about addictions. Anything that is given to you on your life plate, you have the capability to handle. That goes back to the first message. So I guess they were both like the same message from different places being channeled. Okay. Depression is part of your spiritual awakening. It is working through your weaknesses so that you can overcome them. So depression, and I've gone through deep depression, um, one major deep depression where you feel like you're just completely hollow. There's nothing there. There's no joy. There's nothing. It's like you're an empty shell. It's emptiness. Um, no sorrow, nothing makes you happy. You can't even find joy in the things that uh, had always been able to bring you joy up until then. You have no creative power. It's like being an empty shell. And depression but really what it is it's cleaning a slate. It's really when you go through depression, it's part of a spiritual awakening. It is going through your weaknesses. It is overcoming um, things that are taking your power away. And so when you go through depression, you are actually processing. Yeah, processing mentally. And sometimes it's not even mentally. Sometimes you don't even know what you're processing, but you are. It's cleaning away all of the weak thoughts that you have. And when you actually are able to go through the depression, not sit in the depression, when you're able to go through the depression, um, um, you are clean of those thoughts that brought you the weakness. You clean out and you overcome traumas. Um, while you're in the depression, you don't know it. You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So for anybody that is going through depression, I would say just hold tight. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, even if you can't see it. You have to go through the darkness. You can't skip over the darkness and look down and say, okay, well, I see the depression. The things that we actually go through in life, we have to go through. And you can't see the end until you get to the end. And you can't see um, the progress until you go through the progress. And you can't see the good outcome without actually having to go through it and working through it. So the blindness of the depression is part of it. And just know it. Just know that. Hold on to it. Sit tight. I know that it is the biggest suffering. I know. But just know that there is an end and reach for it. Decide that you want to go through it. That don't hide from it. The thoughts that come up, the things that come up, work through them. And you'll find always, if you follow these weaknesses down to the core, it is always sitting in a belief of unworthiness, that I am unworthy, or a place where you don't accept yourself. And I understand that there are things that are very, very, very difficult that we have gone through in life and that are very difficult to overcome. But these things, that's it. I think she gave up on the trip. She's actually sitting down here at my feet. But these things, once we pass through them, the biggest monsters that are sitting in our closets, they become our biggest strengths once we pass through them. And once we pass through them, we can help other people with their monsters as well, because once you pass through them emotionally, it doesn't touch you anymore. You still have the memories and you still know of the traumas. I know exactly what they feel like. You can still connect to them emotionally, but they don't hurt you anymore because you've worked through them and you've overcome the trauma of them, and they don't manage your life anymore. It's like taking control of your life in these places. So that was with depression. Here we go. Next. Express yourself. You are the only one who can express yourself. Of course. I'm the only one that's sitting in me. I'm the only one that knows me. I had another one here. Skip down one. Allow yourself to be who you are. No one else is your human experience. So I'm the only one. I'm the only one that is this human experience. And I'm the only one that can be. And I'm the only one that can express this. And I'm the only one with these unique thoughts. And I'm the only one with these unique experiences. And I'm the only one with this personality. I'm the only one with my parent that was raised in my parents and all of the situations that I've gone through that make up the me that I am. And so if I don't express me, who is? I'm it. It's like being tagged. You're it. That's it. Nobody else. And I am it. And I enjoy it. And when you start expressing yourself, it becomes like you get on a high. It's like, oh, I want to express myself. It feels so fulfilling to express yourself. So express yourself. Okay. You can lift your thoughts. It is a physical thing as well as a mental thing. So a lot of times when we're stuck in these low thoughts or these confining loops, as I call them, we're stuck in these loops. Many times you can just decide that wait a minute, I don't want to be in that loop anymore. Okay, so you put the loop aside. Okay, it's not completely solved yet. But a lot of times, you can't solve something until you have a little bit more information. And information comes to you as you process through life, as you stimulate yourself through life. So a lot of things that we get stuck in these loops, we can't solve them because we just don't have enough information. So we need to continue through life and trust that you have this loop that you're trying to solve. You put it on the side. Don't get stuck in it. It will continue to come up in your life until it is resolved. And anything that you touch in life that stimulates that loop is going to bring that loop up. You can trust it. You don't have to like constantly remember the loop in order for it to solve it. You can put it aside. When you touch something in life that triggers, believe me, the loop is going to come up from itself. So you don't have to worry about losing it. Oh, my self-work. I need to remember to work on this. Sometimes the work is to think about it, process it, put it aside, continue with your life, continue with the light thoughts, and trust that whatever is unresolved is going to come back to you. It's unresolved. It has to come back to you. That's the life experience. That's the expansion. Until we resolve it, it's going to come back to you all the time. So there's no need to sit in it all the time and sit in it and dwell in it and be in it. And, oh, I have to solve this. A lot of times we do want to solve things. So they do come up and they come up and they come up and they come up. And the bigger they are, the more they come up. Or the more we push them away, right? So it's kind of, it's like anything. It's paradoxical. So you do have to process it, but you don't have to sit in it all the time and force the work. You bring it up, you take this new little nubbin that you have of knowledge, you add it into the equation, you think about, okay, is this solvable? Is this solvable? And then you put it back, but you don't be afraid of bringing it back up when it comes up. A lot of these childhood traumas, we close away in these Pandora boxes and we don't want to look in. And anything that triggers it emotionally, we have like this lock on the door of these traumas that we're not willing to think about them. So we just lock them away. I'm not going to think about that. And it becomes automatic. And it becomes so automatic that we don't even know that we have these Pandora boxes. And we go through life not willing to have emotions. So closed off from our own emotions, because if we bring up these emotions of happiness, they bring up the other side of I'm not allowed to be happy because of this or this or that. Everything is dual. So every happy emotion has this attached other side to it, duality. So it's just like anything in life. It's all a balance. It's all a balance. It's all a balance. So nothing is absolute, but in order to bring something into thought, we have to bring it into words. And so I'll say it now, and I'll say it probably again and again and again. Nothing is absolute. Everything is abstract. So as I bring in these ideas and I put them into words, I understand that there's other sides and other aspects and ways of breaking it apart. But we do have to bring things into words in order to bring them into this physical world, because in this physical world, this is metal. You know, you can break it apart and say it's not only metal. Inside of there's all of these minerals and nothing's pure. Right. But in order for us to understand it in this human experience, we have to be able to bring it into some kind of path. And, you know, maybe in bringing it into the absolute, it opens up other things in your minds and other possibilities and other thoughts, and that's all part of it. It's just like I said, it's all part of the human experience. So I'm loving these morning messages. I love it. Okay. And then I'm coming back to gratitude. Gratitude. Thank you for this life experience and all that I am. Thank you for my greatness. Thank you for the ups and the downs. And thank you for listening. And thank you for all of the people in my life. And the birds. And the bees. And all of the knowledge. And all of the things that come into my path that challenge me, and that I have to work through in order to uncover more of my greatness. And thank you for these messages, and thank you for my spiritual awakening, and thank you for all of the work that I've been handed on my plate and gone through all of the things that I perceived as difficulties, so that I can come out the other side cleaner and clearer and more righteous, more right. You know, what is righteous? Set right. So, and I feel like the more you set yourself right, then the more I call it channeling, but the more the universe can speak through me. And just gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Joy is in gratitude. When you can be grateful for the little things, then you are grateful for the big things. Then you are always sitting in a joyful life. So that's my morning messages from Spirit. It feels like they've just been coming through on this Saturday morning. I've been up now at least for a couple of hours, maybe even longer, probably longer. And it just keeps getting better. It just keeps coming through. Just keeps coming through. And if you've watched up till now, hit subscribe. Thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next time, in the next video. I'll see you next time in the next video.